all the wars that's going on in the world. First off, sometimes you got together and be like, where all the wars come from? Differences, different opinions, different religions, different economic stress. It just always depends, man. You got so many wars that's going on in the world. Sometimes you have to step back and look at it from a smaller view to the bigger view of what's going on. Sometimes you have countries say they put their foot down and tell you this ain't what I want going on my land or the land next to me. And it's supposed to be rules. But in this day and time, all the rules done kind of went out the window about war. It's like it ain't no rules. Ain't nobody following the rules no more of war. You have different groups that sign things, but they don't stick to what they sign. So it's just like the world is becoming unruly. And in the day, people be like, you planning for the future, but you don't know when. You don't know really when we gonna leave this earth. All it takes is a couple of nuclear strikes, and man, we up out of here. All the stuff we plan for the future, all the things we say we gonna do with our kids, all that go out the window in a little while, man. It's like we gonna have to understand, like war brings on terrible, terrible things. This the 396 Sigma show. As you can see, we trying to get to the bottom of it. Like, what's going on in the world, man? Like, what's really going on? It ain't, and then the bad part about it ain't like we can predict our own future. Or we can sit back and say, well, us as the people, we can sit back and say we don't want war, but we have politicians and government that's in place that tells us what's gonna happen with war, what they gonna do, how they gonna do it. So it's like we in a world, man, that we can't control what's going on. And sometimes you have to look at the scale of the stuff that's going on, and you have to see like the bigger picture about all these wars and everything that's going on. Because the same stuff that's going on in the foreign policy is the same thing going on inside your own countries, inside your own states. They're doing like the same thing to you. So it's like, man, we're gonna either have to get ready or we just gonna die by the wayside. But war is war. You seeing countries getting wiped out, like totally getting wiped out the face of the earth. Stuff you thought you wouldn't see like in this lifetime is actually happening right now. People getting wiped out. A whole group, hundreds of thousands of people are getting wiped out. I always tell folk, man, war is war. You got a lot of people that sit back and you can believe in church and you can believe in the Bible. You can believe in all type of stuff, but in reality, what's going on? What's really happening? You starting to see like everything ain't what you thought it was. All the things you thought you weren't gonna see in your lifetime that your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents was talking about, you starting to see like it's starting to happen right before our eyes. The different wars going on, easier for us to get wiped out. Back in the day, you was the Soviet Union and America could have killed each other. You know what I'm saying? Easily. Could have wiped each other off the map. Now we seeing that it's coming down to a whole bunch of stuff going on again. How much war do we have to have before the people realize it's time to stand up, try to do something about it? Because if you don't do nothing about it, we in trouble, man. These wars ain't no joke. And the technology. I know people sit back and play Call of Duty and all this, but the technology just by itself, you can't fight an old war the same way you fight these new wars. You have drones, ballistic missiles, hypersonic missiles, It's a whole different ball game out here. And why everybody just sitting back, like living their normal life, listening to music, talking about stuff that's going on the street. Hey man, them street can get erased within seconds. You could be in a shelter hiding within seconds. And we sitting around playing, thinking life is a game. It's like life ain't no game, man. You know, if you was on the front line in some of these wars, you will see that life ain't no game. Folk dying by the seconds. People are dying, like actually falling off the face of the earth out here with these wars and stuff. And then when you start winning in life, they change the rules. We the way our government treat life is like a video game. We start out one way, but then they switch the game up on us. You know what I mean? Every time we get comfortable, they switch the game up on us. It's just like the rent and the products in the store. Everything getting high, the gas getting high, food getting high, restaurants getting high. And we just keep sleepwalking. Oh, I got to go to work every day. I got to do this. I got to do that. And which I understand. Don't get me wrong now. All us humans and we live up under the same rim. I understand about going to work and doing what we do every day, but if them bombs start dropping and your street get tore up or the job that you work at get tore up, what you gonna do then? What you gonna do then? Everybody keep this independent. I'm independent. I'm independent, and I don't want to, work with nobody. Hey man, after a while, you ain't gonna have no choice. What you gonna do when you're in a shelter, a bomb shelter, or a shelter with other folks? And then that's the part of us we always get, that we so independent. But sometimes, like I said, it's gonna come back to a time when you're gonna have to be dependent. Hey, how you doing? It's gonna come back a time to when you're gonna have to be dependent. It's like we gonna need each other, man. The world is not gonna keep going the way we want to. It ain't gonna keep flowing the way we think it's gonna flow. It's a whole ball game going on that's over our head. And like I say, you want to do something about it, your governments ain't gonna let you do nothing about it. You got different voting rights now. You got different ways of looking at policies now. When you start winning, they come in and you start losing. Hey, how you doing? You start losing at the same time. It's like when you start winning, they come in with a different game plan on you and switch that game plan up. And like I say, we got to figure it out, man. Because like I say, the same way they do with the wars overseas is the same way they handle us within the country. They taking our rights away. Everything going on in a different status. You can't win for losing. Rent so high that it's hard to be single out here. I'm gonna repeat that again. It's hard to be single or independent out here because you ain't gonna be able to afford what you getting. Hey, how y'all doing? Come on in. 396 Sigma show. We talking about water day. Everything getting so expensive, it's like, man, it's gonna be hard to live after a while. After a while, they gonna have us back living like a tribe. Everybody gonna be back in tribe mode. It's like we gonna have to stick together. The next man gonna have to help the next man. The next woman gonna have to help the next woman. The kids gonna have to learn how to play together. We're gonna learn how to, civilization can start over once again. And we'll be in trouble by the way we think right now. You got to understand, like the way we think right now, we'll be in trouble for the way we think. Everything's so independent. I can't get along with my neighbor. I don't really talk to nobody in the community. It's like everything could be so much better if we stuck together with each other. If we did what we were supposed to do, you know what I mean? Everything would be okay. You wouldn't feel so bad or you wouldn't feel so lonely if everybody was sticking together. Because we don't stick together, now everybody kind of feel like everything is on their shoulder by themselves. And it's hard. It's hard. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? What you're doing. It ain't easy what you're doing. But like I say, man, you have to stick it out and wait to see. It's like we just really sitting ducks. We waiting to see what's gonna happen to us at the same time. Because like I say, we're gonna have to split our way of thinking up. Sometimes you're gonna have to think single-minded, sometimes you're gonna have to be dual-minded with what's going on. You're gonna have to stop thinking one way. Like I said, man, it's a good book that I used to read. It was called The I Ching. And I done studied the I Ching for like 20 years. Now I say, what is it? I say it's going on almost, about 22, 21, 22 years. Man, it's not easy. It ain't easy. We're going to have to stand up. We're going to have to start fighting for our rights. Because if we don't, we're going to be in trouble, man, on the down part. Ain't nobody going to come save us. You got all these wars going on at the same time, man. It don't take nothing but for the wrong thing to get hit inside one of these countries. If the wrong thing get hit inside one of these countries, man, we in trouble. The missiles just gonna go to flying. And for us to sit back and we don't make no rules, but we gonna be the ones getting hit. Everything's supposed to be military targets and all this, but hey man, you start killing other folks in their country, it's just like throwing the first punt. You can get in somebody's face and start talking junk, but hey, you can't control where they gonna hit you at. And when a certain punch get hit or a certain missile go off, it might hit you. It might take you out. Violence makes more violence. That's just like when one of your people or something get killed or hurt, you gonna want to hurt and kill somebody else. It's a dangerous world that we living in right now, man. And we got to realize that it's a dangerous world. We gonna have to realize it's a dangerous world of where we live at and what's going on and how things work. A lot of time, a lot of people don't even know how a lot of this stuff work or what's going on at the same time. But you got to learn, because if you don't, it ain't gonna be no hope for us, man. It's just like sometimes you're gonna have to learn to harmonize with people. Sometimes you're gonna neutralize. It's cycles. We living in a whole world full of cycles. You know what I'm saying? With cycles, cycles and pairs, they create your opposites. They create boundaries. That's why I always looked at yin and yang and used to try to study it. Soft, hard, good, bad, up, down, lower body, upper body. It's different understandings. Sometimes you got to understand from the softer side. Sometimes you got to understand from the harder side of what's going on. You got to look from different angles. It take different angles to understand, like with these wars, man, how quick it can go from escalation to upper escalation to more escalation to boom. Now everybody gone. It took out. It's a poll. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to make it in this world? Do you think we're going to make it in this world? What you think? Let me know. The action, man, like I said, I done learned so much from that book of what it's done taught me, man, about just life, period, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta wait to get, like, just say if we looking at it from a point of what we doing. Sometimes you gotta wait to get what you want. Sometimes you gotta compromise to get what you want. Sometimes you're gonna have small gains. Sometimes your conduct or the trend and path that you own, it's gonna lead back to small gains. The small gains sometimes gonna lead back to the conduct. It's like, man, we in a learning process, and with war, it's kind of hard to keep your intentions concentrating on work, kids, family, everything every day. Most of the time, you trying to concentrate on other things. But like I said, if missiles get to going, you ain't gonna be able to concentrate too much on nothing. We're gonna have to get it together. We're gonna have to work together. We're gonna have to live together, chill together, sleep together, work together, build together. That's the only way we're gonna survive. That's the only way we're gonna survive. What y'all think? Put it down in the comments. What you think about what's going on? How can we stop it? What can we do? What can we do to make it? I know wars and stuff going on, but sometimes, man, you got to plan. You got to sit back and try to just think, like, man, what can we do if something do go down? Cause everybody concentrate on money, 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 money. Hell, if missiles start raining down in the banks and everything get hit, it's gonna come back down to almost like caveman time. You're gonna have to live off your physical strength. You're gonna have to end up being like nomads. You might have to walk across the country or different states. You're gonna have to move around. It's like, and most of us as Americans, we ain't in shape. Just imagine a lot of us trying to get out and you trying to walk with your mamas, your daddies, your family, your children, and move around and find different places to live on foot. Cause one thing about war, gas stations get hit, jobs get hit, bridges get knocked down, fuel, you can't get the different fuel. Sometimes it's even hard to eat food. In America, a lot of people don't know how to hunt. You got some do, but you got the majority that don't. That's why I be like, man, we gonna have to become more of a tribe than we is independent. With independence, man, it's hard. Independence is hard. We're gonna have to level up. Everybody gonna have to level up, man. Hey, that's why I sit back and I read this book, the I Ching, just to get my knowledge. Cause I know AI and all that's coming out, and you know AI is all good, but what you gonna do when Starlink or G5 or you can't get on the internet? Everything's shut down. I'm glad that I lived through a time where we got outside and we played, communicated, you know what I'm saying? And we actually was physically in each other's face. But we done been in such a time so long that, well, communication is like how I'm talking to you right now on the internet. Most kids don't even know. Just imagine having to have your kid to follow you around and I keep asking you why it's some real stuff going on, why I can't get on the internet or why I can't play the games I want to play. It's the 396 Sigma show, man. I just come to bring awareness to different people. Shout out to all the people that's coming down in the comments, man, leaving comments. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. I'm a little channel trying to get started. I done been on for a minute, but I ain't been consistent. Real life take over sometime, man. You have to do what you got to do. But I want to get into a little some of the notes I done wrote about this book called The I Ching. Like, if you read The I Ching, you'll understand that everything really is like a moving motion. Like pairs are a cycle. The pairs and the cycles within this book, it teach you motion, how to create motion. But the opposites teach you the boundaries of the motion. Like we'll just look at yin and yang, soft and hard, quick or slow, and we'll just look at them as, okay, them just opposites of two things you're doing. But like I say, the opposites is what create boundaries at the same time. But when the pairs, like if you look at the book of the I Ching, it's a such thing called hexagrams. With the hexagrams, you got hexagram 1, hexagram 2. One is creative, one is receptive. Them two right there create pairs, cycles, and both of them opposites at the same time. What goes up must come down. What's left is gonna have a right. If it got a front, it's gonna have a back. It's like once you start to learn, man, and put and piece everything together, you become more of a sane person. Cause like I say, I use AI to try to make myself smarter. I use AI to try to become a smarter person. I don't just kind of let it figure everything out for me. I like it because a lot of people be like, man, I don't like AI. But I like AI. Because like I said, I use it to make myself smarter on things I want to know. You know, a lot of us old school, man, I don't believe in nothing, there's nothing, or, I don't believe in nothing, there's this, I don't believe in nothing, there's that. But sometimes new technologies can help you advance yourself if you just don't depend on them just for trying to get ahead. But depend on the technologies to make you smarter at the same time. Don't forget, if you're coming in, man, subscribe to my page. It's 396 Sigma Show. I talk about different topics every night. Sometimes it's male, female topic. Sometimes it's war. Sometimes it's comedy. But today I'm teaching you about this book that's called The I Ching. Let's get into some of the stuff. Let's go with harmonizing and neutralizing. You got to understand, we do this with each other every day. Sometimes we harmonize. Sometimes it get neutralized. When something neutralized, it's got to come back into balance. It got to come back into balance. Sometimes when something balanced, it's going to get neutralized. It's a little neutralized in the balance. It's a little balance within the neutralizing. That's where you get that yin yang symbol from. That circle symbol with the black part, the white part, a dot of the black part inside the white part, a dot of the white part inside the black part. All of it got something to do within each other. And that's how the cycle turns. You get sick, you're going to get well. You be well, sometimes you're gonna get sick. But coming back to the harmonizing and the neutralizing, it's all about how you take care of yourself too at the same time. If you keep yourself balanced most of the time, you won't have to worry about being neutralized or coming down with disease or getting sick at the same time. It's like I say, man, with that book, man, it's a learning process. Pairs, it's how energy flows. Things come in pairs so they can flow. That's why most of the time when you hear a woman say, I don't want no man, or you hear a man say, I don't need no woman, or I don't need this, I don't need. Pairs are created to help each other flow. Because if it just was a planet full of men, we would have been done died off. If it just was a planet full of women, we'll be done been dying off. But since it's compatibility with man and woman, that's where the flow come in at. The flow is the kids. Like if we break everything down to natural, just being natural, the natural instincts of what's going on, the flow is the kids. Men and women create kids. I ain't got nothing against nobody that's transgender or get, you know what I'm saying? What you feel you is, that's what you is. But I'm just talking about the simple natural flow is how we create. A man and a woman is going to create and create the flow. That flow is going to be your child. The flow is going to take you over and they going to make kids. That's how tribe or a community would keep flowing. Without that, you wouldn't flow. It's just like like-minded people and success. It goes together. Success and like-minded people gonna always go together because with success, you're gonna find like-minded people. With like-minded people, y'all gonna find success together. That's why I say, man, we got to just start kind of more working together with each other instead of going against each other. Like I say, that man Kevin Samuels, I remember he used to be trying to tell us and explain to women like, you need men and men need women. I hate like we at a time where we done kind of left each other. We don't really, you know what I'm saying? We get this feeling we don't need each other. But at the same time, you really do. You need each other. You definitely need each other. If you want to make it, you'll look at some of these shows, you'll see the shows where the woman will be the women will be like, oh no, I go to a different planet where it's all women at. Man, y'all will be fighting and talking about each other within seconds. It wouldn't last too long. Who gonna build the buildings? Who gonna build the workplace? Who gonna, you know what I mean? Like, who gonna get together and do the things you do? Most of the time when you put women in a room by themselves, they get to arguing and fussing like quick. But even if you do go to a planet where it's all men and it's all women, or if we were split up and it's all men, ain't nobody creating. Ain't no flow going on. No kids coming in. That's why I started laughing sometimes when they be like, well, I don't need. You need. We need each other. What it is what's going on, a lot of women be like, a lot of men and women kind of done got on this red pill, independent, high value, no value, Pookie, Ray Ray, up, down, clown. It's like, hey man, you got to understand, life valuable. I don't know what happened when we die, but while I'm here, I try to make an impact on what I can do. I try to make an impact on what I can do while I'm here. But like I say, man, we're gonna have to start sitting back kind of learning from each other and getting back to this tribe. Like I said, man, we got to get back to this tribe living. Why you think independent people have more? When you're in America, you hear more breakdowns, mental breakdown, psychological breakdowns. Cause a lot of people get into this thing where you got to try to put the stress of the world just on your shoulders. When you're in a tribe, the stress of the world is on all our shoulders, and you getting confidence from the people behind you. A lot of the time when you're in a tribe, you don't have to go through everything by yourself. When you're independent, most of the stuff gonna fall on your shoulders. Even in a tribe, sometimes they send you out to do things by yourself to test you, but you get to come back to the group. When you independent all the time, you ain't got nobody to encourage you on. You ain't got that confidence of, hey, I got this group behind me. And that's what a lot of these other countries do, man. And we sit back in America and wonder why, like, well, dog, it's supposed to be the land of the dream and all that. But then you look at other countries, they work together and help each other more than we do. It's a bad thing. It's a group. It's like in America, we can spend so much money on different things and do different things and do this and do that. But when it comes to a backing of a group and us getting in a group to do something to help each other, we fall off. Oh no, I can't do that. I can't have this person living with me. I can't have these people get on my nerves fast. It's like, hey man, we gotta get out of our ways. Cause just like I said, if something happens, it won't take long to defeat us. If you go by and go to everybody's house and everybody independent and you can pick them off one by one, we in trouble. But if you can get everybody out their house and we get in a group, the people that got these things, bows, arrows, guns, knives, and you can click up and everybody get together, now you got a stronger chance of surviving in a group. You can start to use tactics. But if everybody stay in their house and become, oh, it's just me and my kids, it's just me and my kids, it's just me and my doing, we in trouble. Or we just want to sit back and be entertained all day, which ain't nothing wrong with entertainment. Don't get me wrong, gonna make it seem like I'm just talking about entertainment when it's something I don't watch all my life. But if that's all we gonna do is be entertained, we gonna be in trouble. I see 6'7" in the comment. What's 6? Somebody let me know. Type. Let me know what 6'7" means. I done heard them on the internet saying 6'7" and 6'7". What that is? That is when you. Oh man. But man, y'all need to, like I say, make sure you follow me at 396 Sigma Show. Subscribe to my channel. Go watch my shorts. And like I say, the more I do this, the more better I'm gonna get at the live. I'm just starting it. So, but just think about some of the stuff we talking about tribes sticking together. The book called the ICHING. Go look up and try to get into that book as much as you can if you want to survive anything. If anything shut off with this world, it'll teach us the same ways of the old of how to still survive. how to build your society back, how to be a scientist, how to be a philosopher. It'll teach you many things. Another two cycles of the thing: bypassing obstacles. And out of relaxation comes structure. Why do you think bypassing obstacles and out of relaxation comes structure? If you always got a relaxed structure, you're gonna be relaxed too much for everything. So what happens is when you relaxed or structure, it's gonna come back a time when hard times gonna come back around, and you're gonna have to bypass our obstruction, our obstacles again. That's why from obstacles comes relaxation. From relaxation, obstacles come back. It's just like people in life. You done got up one time and then boom, you done fell back down, or something happened, you get locked up and everything get took, or you have a good job and then the job get took from you, and then you got to start over and boom, you get back on your feet. Everything, that's when you start to find out like everything in life start going off cycles. But at the same time, obstacles come in and mess up them cycles. But man, like I say, I appreciate y'all for the little time I done had. I'm gonna get back on probably tonight. But I appreciate all the people that stopped by, that listen to me. I'm gonna start coming on more. But like I said, this the 396 Sigma show. Y'all get in here.